Hello, friends, and welcome to today's SEL lesson. We are continuing with our unit on Women's History Month, and today we are focusing on civil rights and political rights icon Angela Davis. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this pin here. It says Free Angela and All Political Prisoners. We are going to first watch a video that explains more as to what this pin means and the things that Angela Davis fought for.
Who is Angela Davis?
Angela Davis is a human rights activist, a scholar, and an author. She came to prominence in the late 60s and early 70s during the Black Power era. During that time, she became involved with the prison movement because she was accused of complicity in a murder that took place, and she spent 16 months in jail. And she was already concerned about the conditions of prisoners, but as she came to know the prisoners and what it was actually like to be a prisoner herself, she gained a lot more interest and passion for that movement.
The Free Angela button is on display at the Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture. What does the button say?
The button, Free Angela and All Political Prisoners, that button represents the movement that rose when she was in prison. So that's one of the reasons that she was ultimately acquitted, because this huge movement took place not just in the United States, but internationally. And those buttons were worn by people, and there were protests taking place all over the place, including outside of her prison.
Everyone knows those basic facts, the I Believe speech from Martin Luther King, but no one hears about the women in history.
It's one of the reasons that I'm so interested in African American culture and history now in my life and in the work that I do now. Why are you interested in this subject?
Well, I feel like it's really important to learn about American history and also like African American history because, I'm a minority, I'm Black. I should be aware of these things culturally, and also you can't grow from any of these experiences without learning from what has happened in the past.
The idea of a political prisoner in the 70s came to mean literally anyone who is incarcerated, especially a person of color, because the idea is that the system itself is oppressive. Even though you yourself may not have been an actual activist, if you are arrested like George Jackson was because you're poor and Black and end up spending the rest of your life in prison, then you're a political prisoner.
So they were kind of targeting like the whole justice system. Once you start solving one problem, it starts like a domino effect. We solve like equal rights in women's, maybe we can solve minority rights because we've already come together as women of all color. Like it kind of like backpedals on each other.
And if you look at the civil rights movement that was initially focused on segregation or ending legal segregation and voting rights, that branched out into women's movements and other ethnic movements as well. So ultimately, other people benefited from the civil rights movement.
That was a wonderful video that kind of introduced us to who Angela Davis was. And this next video are just 10 important facts that you need to know about Angela Davis, her life, and the things that she fought for and the things that she believed in. All right. 10 must-know facts about political activist, scholar, and author Angela Davis. Number 1. Angela Davis was born on January 26, 1944, in Birmingham, Alabama. Number 2. Angela Davis organized interracial study groups as a teenager, which were broken up by police because that was considered illegal during those times. Number 3, Angela Davis moved north and went to Brandeis University in Massachusetts, where she studied philosophy with Herbert Marcuse. Fact number 4. Angela Davis attended graduate school at the University of California in the late 1960s. She was associated with several groups, including the Black Panthers. Number 5. Angela Davis spent most of her time working with the Chullamumbah Club, which was an all-black branch of the Communist Party. In fact number 6, Angela Davis joined the U.S. Communist Party and was jailed for her charges. For fact number 7, Angela Davis was known for books like Women, Race, and Class. Title of one of her really known books. Number 8, she worked as a professor and activist who advocated for gender equity, prison reform, and alliances across the states. Fact number 9. Angela Davis worked as a professor and activist who advocates gender equity, prison reform, and alliances across color lines. And number 10. Angela Davis founded Critical Resistance, which is a prison reform organization established with the goal of abolishing the prison industrial complex. So that concludes our lesson today on Angela Davis. Stay tuned to answer the questions at the end.